Tonight, Twitter is threatening to sue hours after rival app Threads made its first move to sew up the competition. Today, the app's founder, Mark Zuckerberg, boasting 30 million signups and counting, less than 24 hours after its surprise launch Wednesday evening. Now, Twitter's lawyer demanding Threads owner Meta stop using any Twitter trade secrets. Today, Elon Musk tweeting, "Competition is fine, cheating is not."
I'm sorry, cheating is not, you wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for cheating. You literally lied about having degrees so that you could get positions that you could not otherwise have attained. I mean, come on, what is cheating if not your competition? You want to brag about competition? Almost all of your businesses are completely funded and supported by government subsidies. And without those subsidies, you wouldn't have those businesses anymore because they would have failed. So that aside, come on now, get a grip. Let's get this cage match happening though, because I want to see these two billionaires beat the ever living crap out of one another. But let's get into some more details on why Elon and Twitter are now throwing this big hissy fit, according to CNN. On Wednesday, an attorney representing Twitter sent Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg a letter that accused the company of trade secret theft through the hiring of former Twitter employees. Here is the opening part of that letter written by Alex Spiro. It says, "I write on behalf of X Corp as successor in interest to Twitter," which was a dumb move and big waste of money to change the name anyway. "Based on recent reports regarding your recent launch Threads app, Twitter has serious concerns that Meta Platforms has engaged in systemic, willful, and unlawful misappropriations of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property." Now, there's some more on this, but first I just want to say, Mayor, they're upset that they fired almost all of Twitter's workforce and that those workers got a job in the same tech industry, the same field, which was of course gonna happen. So my thought is, why didn't you just include a non-compete clause in these workers, contracts? I mean, you wouldn't have to worry about this. I think it really shows a lack of any sort of foundation to what's going on over at Twitter.
I mean, it just speaks to the lack of brilliance that everybody wants to bestow upon Elon Musk, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, you said something that was powerful and resonates with me so much when you said that without cheating, he doesn't exist. We're talking about a man who didn't create anything and he just keeps stealing from people, keep using business tactics to force out creators, right? You did this with Twitter, you did this with Tesla, you did this with everything that you own, basically. You use your dad's cheating and stealing of diamonds and emeralds from mines in South Africa to come do that here. So this idea that cheating is a problem, furthermore, what you think you're gonna do? What's gonna happen when you fire all of your development engineers? When you let go entire departments, they're gonna get jobs with your competition and they're gonna compete with you. Mm-hmm. At something that the idea, the reason we know that the real reason this lawsuit is happening is because how fast Threads took off. And not because of the technology still, because if they really were concerned, they would have been sued Donald Trump or sent a letter to him for Truth Social, a cease and desist where it looks just like a red version of Twitter. So this is about the thought of losing business and this idea that I am a billionaire that own these people and this type of technology. Therefore, you should not be competing in my lane because I am the great I am.
That is such a fantastic point because at the top of the show yesterday, we covered the unveiling of Threads. And I can't remember exactly, but I think it was something like 130 million signups for Threads on day one. So of course they're seeing this success, this immediate sort of success that otherwise you bring up a great example with Truth Social that no one cares about. So of course they didn't bring that same sort of lawsuit. And before we touch on some more of the facts of the situation, just to touch on the idea of Elon Musk being a cheater, and that's how he's accumulated everything that he has in this world. That's how his father accumulated everything that he had in this world. I saw a meme on Twitter today that was someone looking over, like it was two students, one was copying another one's test, and the one student who was cheating was labeled Mark Zuckerberg, and the other student was Elon Musk. And it just took me aback. Like, Elon didn't invent Twitter, right? He has not done anything but damage that website. So the idea that he's stealing anything from Elon is ridiculous. He just bought it, he didn't make it. But that's the level of intelligence I expect out of Elon Musk. Fanboys, but we've really seen him focus on his beef with Zuckerberg as opposed to some other social media counterparts. CNN reported on this and they wrote that in the months since Musk acquired Twitter for $44 billion, the social network has been challenged by a growing number of smaller microblogging platforms, such as the decentralized social network Mastodon and Blue Sky, an alternative backed by former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. But Twitter has not threatened either with litigation. So just add those on to the previous example of Truth Social. But if Elon is worried about Threads picking up former Twitter employees, maybe he shouldn't have fired them. He said he cut 80% of the staff. I mean, what again? The point I made, the point the mayor made, what did you think was going to happen? They work in this field. This is the field they have experience in. This is the field where they can get jobs. And other tech companies, other social media companies are making more hires instead of cutting staff. So naturally, they're gonna go to those companies. And if you weren't smart enough to put a do not compete clause in whatever severance package you offered them, then of course they're going to go. And I can't imagine they had the foresight to do that because he fired them all via mass email.